Jordan Tate. I am the Associate Director of the Dancers School here in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Yeah. My mother's owned a dance studio my whole life. I'm 31 years old. When I was younger, I took for a couple years. I mean, 6, 7, somewhere in that ballpark. But I started taking class again when I was 16, and I started teaching when I was 18. So I've been seriously dancing, I guess you could say, for about 13, 14 years, somewhere in that ballpark. But I've been around it my whole life. Well, clearly my mother is the one that put it into my blood. I mean, she's never been a hip-hop dancer, but my older brother was a big influence. He taught. I went through a phase where I didn't think dancing was cool. So my older brother was doing it before I was doing it. And so when I did eventually get to that point where I knew that I could make a living at it and this was something I was good at, he was one of the first people that, I was drawn to. But I was also blessed to meet some good friends at other local studios in Middle Tennessee and train with them. Daryl Campbell is one. He's based out of Franklin. Nick Bass is one. And Nick's from Franklin as well. Nick's top of the line dancer, danced with Michael Jackson, Justin Timberlake, Janet Jackson, you name it. He's done everything you can do. And I was lucky enough to become good friends with him years back. So he was clearly like a huge inspiration for me. But my mom, my brother, a few really talented guys, and yeah, I mean those are the people for sure. The hardest part of being a dance teacher, I would say, is every day. I mean, if you teach a lot of dance like I do, every day being prepared to come up with something creatively. I think a lot of people are comfortable with jobs to where they're told what to do, so they don't have to necessarily prepare for each day, and I have to do that. And when you're working with kids, I teach kids all the way from 8 years old all the way up to adults, and so you have a variety of personalities and experience. So going day to day and having something prepared for kids, for 8-year-olds, but at the same time being prepared to teach something to adults, you have to kind of find that happy medium of all ages. And so I guess that's probably the toughest part. It's just the day-to-day grind of being creative for each level of, dance students. You get to influence people's lives. The way I've always looked at dance, I feel like it's one of those things that if you take it serious, and I feel like it trains you not only as a dancer and being able to do dance moves, but it trains you emotionally. It gives you a good work ethic. Like I said, people take dance for different reasons. Some people just want to get a good workout or get a good sweat. Some people want to train to become, a professional or make a dance team or something like that. Some people are, as bad as it sounds, some people are just here socially. So regardless, though, I think being any type of a teacher, whether it's dance or school or a sports coach or something like that, you're influencing people's lives. So yeah, it's the best part. Teaching kids, making them smile, seeing somebody make a dance team or something like that. It's pretty rewarding. Well, teaching's hard. Teaching, it's the same thing all the time. I just enjoy when I have a really good, confident, hardworking class. So teaching, I can't really think of anything that sticks out. But performing, I was blessed in 2007 to be able to go on tour with an Interscope recording artist named Casey Brown, and we were the opening act for the Backstreet Boys. So for a few months, got to ride on a tour bus, and we traveled all over the United States to every big arena that you can think of in each city, and performed. And we went through all of Canada and performed at Radio City Music Hall And then I eventually got the chance to fly to Switzerland and perform with the same artist. So out of all those performances, I'd have to say Radio City Music Hall was uh, the most special. I mean, it's Radio City Music Hall. Some of the best performers and musicians and artists have performed on that stage, and I was extremely lucky to get that opportunity. So, I mean, that clearly sticks out, on the professional level. When it comes to just our local studio shows, I think it was the year after that, maybe 2008, we did a show called The Music Box, and there were a few dance parts just in that show that I really enjoyed. But yeah, it's kind of hard to beat Radio City Music Hall. That's kind of the tops. It was even better than Switzerland. So, well, like I said before, my mother's owned a dance studio my whole life, so it is a family business. My father does a lot of the office work, and my older brother actually used to teach dance here, so the dance studio has always been in the family. And so the goal is I'll probably take this place at some point as a part owner and then eventually an owner. And so I guess I'm going to be, I don't know how long I'll teach. I'm going to teach as long as my legs let me teach. And, eventually kids don't want to take from an old guy. But as long as I can stay somewhat relevant, I'll continue to teach. And even outside of that, I'll probably still run the business even after teaching. So, yeah. Who knows? 40, 50. I'll own it till I hand it to my daughter. So, definitely life. Life is the word. Dance is one of those things, some people just think it's dance steps and it's music, or it's music videos or stuff they see on TV. Like, if not lifestyle, I guess you could say. Like, dance is constantly running through my body and through my brain, even when I'm not dancing. I listen to music differently than most people. When I watch dances, I can't speak for everybody, but for myself, like, it's a completely different vibe. I see more than the steps. It is just a way of life to me, and I think just kind of the way the world works is almost a big dance in itself. So, like, day to day, I feel like that's just kind of who I've become. So I'll go with the word life. That's my word. It's my special word.